Hey guys, Dmitry here, bringing you another video about my insights into the crypto world. Today I'd like to go over Hashflare, how profitable the cloud mining contracts with them are, and basically answer some of the frequently asked questions about that service. So let's jump right into it. So here is the Hashflare website, and it's a cloud mining company based out of Estonia, and they were founded in 2014. So they've been around right around 3 years now, and they're actually owned and operated by another company in Estonia called Hashcoins. So I'll leave a link in the description to their website. You can check it out, but to see which contracts they offer, you would just go into pricing, which will bring you all the way down here. And when fully in stock, the cloud mining contracts you can buy are Script, SHA-256, Ethereum, Zcash, and Dash. So those are the contracts that they offer, and right now the Dash cloud mining contracts are completely sold out, no word on when they'll be back in stock, and the SHA-256, which is used for mining Bitcoin, are in limited stock, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sell out, in a few, I don't know, days, weeks, maybe a month or two. So that's what they offer. And one of the most common questions that I get is, what's the difference between Script and SHA-256 cloud mining contracts? And it's pretty simple. Script is an algorithm used to mine Litecoin, so that's what you would be mining with this contract, and SHA-256 is the algorithm used to mine Bitcoin. So that's it. You can't mine Bitcoin with Script. So there are the contracts. You can check out the prices on the main website, but let's jump into the dashboard and see just how profitable these contracts are. So once you get into the dashboard, you'll see a nice overview. This is my balance. You can withdraw, reinvest, etc., etc. And you can also purchase more hashing power by clicking this shopping cart. But what we really want to see is, based on what we're willing to pay, how much profit we're actually going to make. So let's get into that. So they did raise their prices recently. It was about $150 per terahash. And right now it's at $220 per terahash. So that's just under 50% in their price increases. And that's due to super high demand, them having scaling issues and having to kind of accommodate that, buying hardware, hiring new people. Obviously, they're going to need more money, so they have to raise their prices. I think it was inevitable. It totally makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to raise their prices again in a few weeks. Maybe it's the prices of the cloud mining contracts, the fees, or maybe they just have to completely stop selling them because they're getting so popular. I think last time I checked, they were getting 4,000 new users signing up every single day. So just to give you a perspective. But let's say you're ready to sign up, and I leave a link to sign up on Hashflare in the description. It is a referral link. I would really appreciate it if you use it. If you sign up with them, I get a small percentage of hash power for referring you. So that will be in the description. And let's say you want to sign up and you want to buy 1 terahash of a cloud mining contract using SHA-256 to mine Bitcoin with Hashflare. So as I mentioned, you would just click this shopping cart with SHA-256. You would use the slider to, buy as much hash power as you're willing to pay for. Let's say today that's 1 terahash a second, and that's going to cost you $220. You can pay with Bitcoin, a credit card, and some other options. Let's actually go into that before I jump into the profitability to quickly check what you can pay for. So they'll show you an overview, and if everything looks good, you would click select payment method. So here are the options. You can pay with BTC. Right now, I would not recommend it because the overall transaction volume is so high. I've seen so many people online complaining that their contract hasn't started running because Hashflare hasn't received the Bitcoin, and it's out of Hashflare's control because the provider they use, Block.io, has so many unconfirmed transactions that they just haven't gotten to getting that Bitcoin. So I wouldn't recommend paying with Bitcoin right now. I usually pay with a credit card, and it goes through like this, and my contracts start running the next day. You can also pay from balance. So that means once you accumulate enough Bitcoin in your balance after mining, you can use the Bitcoin you earned with Hashflare to buy new packages. And I have done this before. Went through instantly. I didn't have any issues with the new hash power being added on my account. You can pay with a wire transfer. Don't know, I wouldn't do that, but you can pay with Payeer. It's kind of like, I think, a European equivalent of PayPal. And as I mentioned, you can pay with a credit card, and that's what I use. I haven't had any issues. So those are your payment methods. If you want to buy some hash power, select whichever one suits you. and go with that. So let's go back to the mining profitability. Let's say you're ready to buy 1 terahash a second. You go through the process and you have that in your panel. How much are you actually going to make? Well, I use the Bitcoin mining calculator on coinwars.com, so I'll leave a link in the description to that site as well. And basically, once you get on the website, I'll show you how to get to this page. You would click mining calculators in the top left, then you would find Bitcoin over here, Bitcoin mining calculator, and you'd get to this page. And I'll show you exactly how to fill out these fields. So the hash rate is what you're purchasing on Hashflare, and 1 terahash is equal to 1,000 gigahashes, and that's what they're expecting in this field. So if you're buying one terahash, you would put in 1,000 gigahashes a second. And if you're confused by that, you will also see a field on Hashflare in the bottom left corner of selecting an amount to purchase on this dashboard. So let's put in 1,000 gigahashes a second. The power consumption is 0. The power cost is also 0. That's all on Hashflare side. The pool fees are right around 17% on Hashflare. You can leave the Bitcoin difficulty and the reward the same. You might have to update the Bitcoin price. It's not at 15,300 right now. Let's see what it is on CoinMarketCap. It's at 13,534. So let's update it there. 13,534. The hardware cost is how much you're paying for the Hashflare contract. That's $220. So let's click calculate and see the results. So you're looking at about 145 days to break even. So that's just under 5 months. And these are 1-year contracts. So after that 5 months, the next 7 months is pure profit. So in theory, that's nice if you're patient enough to wait the 5 months. And as you can see, the contracts are still profitable. You just have to wait longer now to break even. So those are the days to break even. Now let's get into how much profit you'd be making with 1 terahash a second after paying $220. So as it stands with the current Bitcoin mining complexity and the Bitcoin price, along with the Hashflare fees, you're looking at about $1.51 a day, $10.56 a week, about $45 a month, and $550 in a year. So the profit amount here on the right is after the fees. So this is after Hashflare takes their cut and you would actually be earning. So for $220 today, you would be getting $550 in a year. So as you can see, these contracts are profitable. You can still make money. But as I mentioned, these numbers are not set in stone. They will be changing daily based on the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin mining complexity, the fees, prices on Hashflare. So just keep that in mind. What you see right now is not going to be something you see, in the next few days or in a month or in 3 months. Nobody can predict that. But I'm personally really confident that Bitcoin will rebound. We're going to see new all-time highs, and that these contracts will be good for passive income down the line. That's my new strategy, is not to just hold Bitcoin, but also create a nice passive income for myself. So that's what I'm doing with Hashflare. And I haven't had any issues with payouts or anything else on the platform with paying for hash power, for example. So no need to worry about that. So the last thing I'd like to mention is cons, just so you're aware of them. I mean, overall, as I mentioned, I'm pretty happy with Hashflare. I think I'll be reinvesting, and so far they're proving out to be one of the more legitimate cloud mining companies. But I do always want to mention the negative sides, just to make sure you guys are aware of them. And those are basically in September, I believe it was, they changed their open-ended Bitcoin mining contract into 1-year contracts. And that made a lot of people mad because they were hoping to have these contracts run for a while until they became not profitable, which would be more than a year for sure. So they basically just took all the existing contracts that they had that were open-ended, changed them to 1 year without really giving people that much notice, and that made a lot of people mad. So that's something to keep in mind. It's kind of dying down now. These are still proving out to be profitable contracts, but that's just something to know. And another thing to note is that the Bitcoin withdrawals, they have been having issues for the last, I think, week or two. And this is not really on their end. They are using a provider called block.io for withdrawals or for Bitcoin transactions. And the overall transaction volume is so high right now that it just it's taken a long time to confirm transactions, and the fees are really high. So if somebody wants to withdraw $100, it might cost them $80. It just doesn't make sense. So they have to increase the minimum withdrawal amount. They also have to pause withdrawals to wait for the unconfirmed transactions to actually go through. But I've seen a bunch of videos, and I know people personally who have withdrawn from Hashflare successfully and saw the money in their Bitcoin wallet. So I'm really not worried about withdrawing my money once the minimum does decrease and I actually make enough with these contracts to withdraw. So I think that's pretty much it about Hashflare. I hope you guys found this useful, and it's Christmas Eve for some parts of the world. It might already be Christmas, so I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Hope you enjoy your break. As I mentioned, I hope you found this useful. If you did, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy investing.